you all. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 3rd chapter, and verses 16 and 17. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'll share my screen with the verse Maharaj again.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Obeisances to all the devotees.
Yes, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Evam Sanchityam Bhagavan Sarvaye Raje Stapya Dharmajam Nandayam Asusurida Sadunam Vardmadarshayan. Lord Shri Krishna, thus thinking to himself, established Maharaj Yudhisthira in the position of the supreme control of the world in order to show the ideal of administration on the path of piety. So the Lord wants to establish the ideal administration, which will be beneficial for the persons who they are ruling. Without an ideal administration or a Krishna conscious, pious administrator, the world remains chaotic. Okay, next verse. Uttarayam drita puro vamsa sarvad bhimanyuna savadraunyastra samplusta purna bhagavata dritaha. Translation. The embryo Puru's descendant, begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu in the womb of Uttara, his wife, was burnt by the weapon of the son of Drona, but later he was again protected by the Lord. The embryonic body of Parikshit which was in formation after Uttara's pregnancy by Abhimanyu, the great hero, was burnt by the Brahmastra of Asvatthama. But a second body was given by the Lord within the womb, and thus the descendant of Puru was saved. This incident is a direct proof that the body of the living entity, the spiritual spark, are different. When the living entity takes shelter in the womb of a woman through the injection of the semen of a man, there is emulsification of the man's and woman's discharges, and thus a body is formed the size of a pea, gradually developing into a complete body. But if the developing embryo is destroyed in some way or other, the living entity has to take shelter of another body or in the womb of another woman. The particular living entity who was selected to be the descendant of Maharaj Puru with the Pandavas was not an ordinary living entity. And by the superior will of the Lord, he was destined to be the successor of Maharaj Yudhisthira. Therefore, when Asvatthama destroyed the embryo of Maharaj Parikshit, the Lord, by his own internal potency, entered into the womb of Uttara by his plenary portion just to give audience to the would-be Maharaj Parikshit, who was in great danger. By his appearance within the womb, the Lord encouraged the child and gave him complete protection in a new body by his all-powerful nature. By his power of being all present, he was both inside and outside of Uttara and other members of the Pandava family. Om Gyantamidandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kodammayam Dadati Swam Padantikam. Ram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya De Satarine Panchakalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, the last descendant of the Kuru dynasty was about to be destroyed by Asvatthama, who sent a Brahmastra. That was the son of Abhimanyu, who was Maharaj Parikshit. And it's mentioned here that the boy actually lost his body, or the baby did, but the Lord gave him a new body immediately. The Lord acted really fast to save the child. Of course, by his mercy, that child became one of the greatest kings in the whole Yadu dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit. He got his name Parikshit from the situation that happened in the womb, because in the womb, the child actually saw the Lord. The child was sentient enough to recognize that person. Of course, he didn't recognize him as the Lord, but when he was in the womb, he recognized someone came and saved him. And therefore, he was given the name Parikshit. Parikshit means examiner. That's the exact meaning of the word Parikshit. It means examiner. Why was the name given? Because when he came out, he kept looking for that same person he saw in the room. So he was in the womb. So he was examining everyone he saw. Is this the person I saw? Is this the person I saw? Is this the person I saw? So he received the name examiner or Parikshit. Interesting. So the Lord is the well-wisher of all, and he's a protector of his devotee, and he's especially gives protection to his pure devotee, but he gives protection to all devotees. But for his pure devotee, he is always there every second, and therefore the pure devotee is never and ever in harm's way by the mercy of the Lord. So this is a little history of Maharaj Parikshit, and of course his birth brought about, that was right at the beginning of the Kali Yuga, wherein Krishna had just recently left the planet. And then Parikshit was born right after that, or just during that time just before Krishna left the planet. And he ruled the world. The glories of Maharaj Parikshit are sung very profusely throughout the scriptures, especially there is one whole chapter dedicated to his life. And he was glorious in so many ways compared to many other great personalities in his own glory. It was he who chased Kali out of the kingdom. When Kali took the form of a dacoit, a low-class person, and started beating a cow and a bull. And the bull was actually the personification of religion. And he had destroyed three of the legs of the bull. The bull was standing only on one leg. So that was somewhat analogous, but it's an actual factual event, but still there's an analogy there which indicates that there were four legs that religious principles are situated on: truthfulness, cleanliness, austerity, and what's the last one? Truthfulness, cleanliness, austerity, and mercifulness. Mercifulness. So, mercifulness is destroyed in Kali Yuga by animal killing. Austerity is destroyed by intoxication. Cleanliness is destroyed by illicit sex. And truthfulness is the only flag of truth left in this age because of the presence of the Vaishnavas of the Lord. Truthfulness is somewhat prominent, not prominent, but exists within the world today. Otherwise, the world would be destroyed by now if it wasn't for the presence of the devotees, because people are so sinful. Today, you'll see, Manda Sumanta Mateo Manya Bhaga Upadritaha. People are lazy, unlucky, easily disturbed. Prabhupada talks about how when he was preaching in different places in America, when they would have their kirtan in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, people would call the police or complain that they're waking them up. Prabhupada was shocked how people could sleep to 7 o'clock in the morning. How people get so easily disturbed by kirtan. And he talks about that many times in Bombay. It also happened in Bombay and it happened in other places too. It happened in America many times, Los Angeles. After some time, the police kept getting calls and they kept coming. The devotees, after a while, became friends with the police, and the police would come just to get some prasadam after a while. So they made friends with the devotees and they liked the prasadam. So that was one of their favorite calls, to come to the Hare Krishna temple and get some prasadam on some complaint of somebody who couldn't sleep. I remember being in India. I just came back from India. I'm being in Mayapur, and you can hear throughout the night, sometimes you hear blaring sounds of music going on. And I mean, it's really loud sometimes, and nobody complains. So it goes on through the whole night. And, you're sitting there and you're going to sleep and you think, just lay back, you'll go to sleep when you fall asleep. Or if it's too loud, you just take a pair of earplugs and you go to sleep. But in people nowadays, they like to become so upset, the little noise that wakes them up. Prabhupada talks about how in the Western countries, people adore sleeping. He said they sleep so much. They sleep 12 hours a day, some of them. He says if you give them a chance, they'll sleep 24 hours a day. So Prabhupada was talking, I was just listening yesterday and today. He's talking about Prahlad Maharaj, and how Prahlad Maharaj talks about how what life is wasted through the process of sleeping, that people sleep half their life away, and how valuable human form of life is. Human form of life is the highest form of life, and in that developed consciousness is there. And other lower forms of life, such as trees, plants, beasts, and birds, consciousness is not fully developed. Therefore, people cannot live in those living entities in those bodies cannot be Krishna conscious. But in the human form of life, it is very rare, and at the same time, the great benefit of having the opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead is available. But people waste their time sleeping, thinking sleeping is so nice. And the scriptures call sleeping another form of death. One who is fixed in Krishna consciousness sleeps only because they need to keep the body together for their devotional service. They don't take sleeping as some pleasure enjoyment, which many people do. And they like to sleep. And it's like they'll sleep anywhere and everywhere. I see people sleeping in airports, sleeping on planes, sleeping in different places. When you go even out traveling around, people are sleeping in public. And sleeping is such a luxury. But from the from the point of view of health, it's not actually good to sleep more than 8 hours a day. Even that for a devotee, 8 hours is a lot. Prabhupada recommends devotees sleep 6 hours a day. There's a whole class he gave on sleeping alone. He talks about you sleep about 6 hours a day, and maybe if you need a little bit rest, you can take one more hour during the day. He says the maximum 7 hours, no more than that. But we recommend 6 hours. people people who sleep 8, 10 hours a day, it's like, it's like a vacation from life, because life is so miserable that sleeping is like that, an escape from the suffering of the miseries of living in this material world. But devotees enjoy life because they are engaged in devotional service and they want to use every moment they can to serve the Lord, to engage in devotional service. They don't want to waste time. Because Prabhupada talks about how time is the most valuable element in a person's possession. How much time we have in this life, we don't know. Therefore, to use every moment is precious. Prabhupada would sometimes make a demonstration. He would say, now it's December 4th, 1976, and here we are at 7:30 in the morning. And then he would wait a few moments, and then he says, now it's 7:31 in the morning. 1 minute later, what happened to 7:30 on December 4th, 1976? He says, even if you have $1 million, 1 million crores of rupees, in other words, if you're the wealthiest person in the world, you can't buy back that time. It's gone. So time is valuable. Money is valuable. Time is precious. Time is precious. So people like to sleep so much they consider sleep you know, a success. If I can sleep 8 to 10 hours, if I can sleep 10 to 12 hours a day, then I'm really enjoying life. But for a devotee, they think, oh my God, that's suffering. That's suffering. Because it's a waste of time. And Krishna consciousness is so nice. Devotees want to use every bit of time they have to serve the Lord, to read books about the Lord, to chant the holy names of the Lord, to perform devotional programs with the Lord. So they want to use as much time as they can. So they sleep whatever is necessary. And usually devotees always get up early in the morning. We get up sometimes 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock, 3:30. Prabhupada said, no later than 4. If you get up later than 4, he said, don't take 6 hours of rest, get up by 4 o'clock, be fresh for the day. If you're a little tired from the day's activities, find some time during the day and take a little snap. He didn't call it nap, he called it snap. Snap means short nap. Maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes just to get refreshed. And then he said also in another lecture, if you need more rest, all right, take up to 7 hours. But he said, we recommend devotees to try to cut down on their sleep, and that way they can maximize their time like that. So, yeah, uh, Maharaj Parikshit was the king of the world. And he established religious principles by destroying or removing Kali. But Kali found some place somewhere in the hoarding of gold. When Maharaj Parikshit chastised him and told him to leave, he said, I'm your subject. You also have to give me a place to stay. He said, I'll give you a place where there's illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling. Kali said, there's no such place in your kingdom. And then Maharaj Pariksit said, all right, wherever there's the hoarding of gold, you can stay. So even that's sinful to hoard gold. So there, yeah, therefore we see the qualities of great souls. They're always acting for the benefit of everyone. Maharaj Pariksit is the ideal king. He's a Rajarsi, he's a Rajarishi. That means he lives and operates and rules by religious principles, not simply by power or by armies, but by religious principles. And nowadays we see the rulers in the world, they want to start a war, they start a war, and everybody is suffering because of the war. I've been talking to the devotees based on the present war. Fuel prices are going sky high, and Europe is in danger of losing all of their fuel, and there might be a calamity in Europe because all of the natural gas comes from Russia or from the Middle East, and that's been shut down by the war now. So if you're living anywhere in Europe, take heed because things might run out. Fortunately, the weather is not cold, but there will be no fuel. That's why I've been talking, and Prabhupada has been instructing us, get these farms together, get away from being dependent on the Western civilization for our livelihood. Because he predicted these calamities would come in due course of time because of the sinful nature of life. People don't understand that suffering comes because of sin. They think, well, I can do anything I want because, I'm free, I can choose. They don't see the consequences of their activities, which comes in the form of suffering. Because life is meant for God realization. So when they break the laws of God, when they exploit nature for their own greedy ways, they cause problems not only for themselves, but for others also. So anyway, but for devotees preach Krishna consciousness. We tell people, wake up. If you want to get out of your suffering, take the Krishna consciousness, chant the holy names of the Lord, and make your life connected with God in devotion. This is your actual birthright, and this is the success of your life and the happiness you're looking for. But people are so absorbed in material life, they can't hear the actual truth. They get absorbed, and when you speak something truth, then they become disturbed. But devotees don't give up. We still try to wake up the conditioned souls to their uh, actual real life. We don't give up, even though they are so obstinate and refuse to take it. So we keep trying. That's our job. We have to preach, as Bhakti Siddhanta said, or Saraswati said, if you arrange for a preaching program and nobody comes, you preach to the four walls. The four walls will hear you. He said, our duty is to preach. Some people will come, some will not come. When Prabhupada was in America, they organized this one program. This was when he first came there in 26 Second Ave. They hired a big auditorium and put posters all over New York City of this Swami from India is going to talk about um, the uh, the importance of becoming spiritually conscious. They made a very nice flyer, pasted it all over New York City. And then when the time of the event came, only 7 people came. The auditorium held more than a couple hundred people, and only 7 people came. Devotees were really disappointed. And they said to Prabhupada after, only a few people came. Prabhupada said, "Oh, it was actually wonderful. Didn't you see Narada Muni? He came. He was here." So Prabhupada could see Narada Muni. We devotees couldn't see Narada Muni. And there have been similar incidents where devotees have organized programs and one or two people came, but those one and two people were so serious they actually became devotees. So preaching is always beneficial, even if nobody comes. When you preach, you're actually serving the Lord's mission by preaching, even if nobody comes, the ants will hear you, the flies will hear you, the germs will hear you, maybe even the dogs will hear. So preach anyway. Of course, we do have people coming to our programs, but we have to instill in them that these programs are meant to give you knowledge which will transform the way you live to a platform of becoming connected to the Supreme Lord. Not that we hold programs just to simply to come together and talk about how everything is going and then have some prasadam and go home and nothing changes. No. Of course, just by coming to a program, people are benefited. There's no question about that. But our desire is to help people make a change in their life, come to learn to serve. That is the motto. We were kind of teaching people that your duty is to serve the Supreme Lord. That's your happiness. That's your success. That's your way out of this material suffering. So that's our preaching. And we come in the line of Lord Chaitanya, who's distributed his mercy to everyone and anyone, everywhere within the world. And he's still active, inspiring his devotees to take part in taking his message to preach Krishna consciousness to others. It's a movement of compassion. It's a movement of uh, reaching out to the conditioned souls who are lost. Okay, so we'll stop there and open it up for discussion.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class. So many points about devotees' life, about sleeping and about preaching. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Nice instructions. Thank you. Dear devotees, please.
The Goswamis forgot to sleep. They were so busy serving the Lord, they just lost awareness of what time it was. They just kept going.
Yeah.
They were so absorbed in serving the Lord. It's like that. When you get absorbed in serving, you actually lose sense of time.
Yes, Maharaj.
Just like when you're in love with somebody, you're so in love that love just consumes you, and you can't see anything else. People will talk to you, things will happen around you, but still it doesn't break your mood of love. It's become so absorbing. So devotees just love to serve the Lord. They get so absorbed, they forget about eating. Sometimes they forget about sleeping.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah. But this body sometimes, if it can't function, sometimes, Maharaj, can't function with so much of austerity. So yeah, it reminds us just
You might say yes. In principle, what you say is true, but there's another principle that we can always do more.
yeah.
That's a fact.
Yes, Maharaj.
It's not that where we are now, we reached our limit. No, that's not. Nobody's at their limit.
Mm. Dear devotees, please turn on your cameras if possible, wherever you are, and please, you can ask your questions or comments or anything else you want to. Dariya Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Maharaj. So I was wondering regarding sleep. I heard that it's also influenced by the material nature, like sattva gunas, and also like eating, like how much you have to eat. But I was wondering if it's not enough with 7 hours. Is there something else that we can do to improve this, or we should also try to sleep, for example, 7 hours and then get used to it in a way?
Well, if you sleep more than 7 hours, you're in Maya. Unless you're sick. If you're sick, that's something else. People who sleep 6 hours live longer than people who sleep 8 hours. That's a statistic coming from the secular world. Too much sleep is bad for health. So Prabhupada said 7 hours. I mean, for devotees, he said 7 hours. But even that, for me, that's hell, 7 hours. That's a waste of time.
So if we feel tired, we should sleep just like a little during the day. If we still feel tired.
Do some exercise and you'll wake up. A lot of times we're tired because we sit down too much during the day. Get out and do some exercise, get the body moving, and then you'll feel energized. We need exercise. The body needs exercise. There's one devotee in our movement. He dances all the time. He's known for he dances on Tulsi Puja. He dances on the Shringa prayers. Wherever he is, he's dancing. It doesn't matter what the kirtan is or who's singing. And so he dances all the time. And so one time he went to the doctor and he had his heart checked, and the doctor said, "My God, I never saw a stronger heart than yours." Exercise and you'll sleep less. Most of the time we're sleepy because the body gets, a little, what we say, packed up, tight. Just do a little exercise and you'll get some of your energy back. Do yoga.
Because sometimes I'm confused because in today's society, it said that we should have at least 8 hours sleep.
Yeah, but
And
that's for the karmis,
mm,
devotees. They like to sleep. 8 hours is 1/3 of the day. That means 1/3 of your life is wasted.
mm,
That's a lot, 8 hours. I mean, if you really need 8 hours, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but it's to me, and according to how Prabhupada set the standards for those who are practicing devotional service, he said, I mean, you can hear it. I can even give you the reference on the tape. He said 6 hours, but if you need more, then okay, you can take another hour during the day, 7 hours. But he never said anything more than 7 hours, that's for sure. But if you still can't do it, then but I find people when they start doing exercises, they get more energy and they sleep less.
did he say anything about the diet or how much to eat?
Eat, you want to eat like a yogi? I can tell you the yogi formula. Yogi formula is fill your stomach half filled with food, 1/4 with air and 1/4 with water. That's a yogi diet. Don't drink water before you eat. Don't drink water after you eat. Sip water during the meal, which aids digestion while you take your meal. Sip, don't drink. Drinking will put out the fire before and after, and even during. Sip water. Water should be taken often throughout the day in small quantities to keep the body nourished and lubricated. But it's not that we have to fill the belly up so it can't move anymore, and you just all of a sudden you feel like you gain 20 pounds. Devotees, as they practice Krishna consciousness, they start to decrease their eating. It comes automatically. They want to eat less because, if you overeat, it puts you in the mood of passion and ignorance. You fall down to the lower modes of material nature. Too much eating, too much sleeping. So regulate it in such a way that you can work nicely. But you must include exercise. I give every once in a while, I give a class on health. And I'll do one maybe upcoming soon again, another class on some health tips. Devotees don't know how to keep their health. And therefore, they find themselves getting tired or eating the wrong foods or eating too little or eating at the wrong times. Regulation is the key to good health.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much.
Hope that helps.
Yeah.
Maharaj, I want your suggestion about the teenagers. So they are not taking this schedule of life like a routine seriously. So what kind of encouragement we can give to them, even though as parents, if we talk, then they think that it's like boring, like they don't want to listen to the parents.
Yeah, I was the same way.
Maybe I was also in the same way. But now
I was listening to Prabhupada this morning. Again, he was talking about, he said, from when they're very young, when they get to 5 years old, then you start becoming strict with them. And you become very strict from 5 to 16. He says, when they get to 16 years old age of then you become a friend. So from the age of 5 to 16, you become very strict in telling them how to do things, what they should avoid, what they should do. That's your duty. Strict. And then that's the years where they formulate all of their habits, which will be the basis of how they live their life. But after 16, forget it. They'll just write you off. You have to be their friend and very gently and very friendly make some suggestions every once in a while. If you grow your children like that, 0 to 5, very let them, let them express their childlike nature, but watch them so they don't get hurt or do the wrong thing. That you have to be with them all the time. And when they get 5, from 5 onward, then you start laying the law down.
yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
But then when they get as teenagers, you were a teenager too, right?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Prabhupada. I just
But
listen to it, but you can listen to it. It's a very interesting lecture.
it
I'll,
increases the anxiety when we see that they are wasting time and many things. So
and just try to engage them in kirtan.
mm,
Your son likes kirtan, so you don't have any problem. Your
yeah,
daughter, she likes Krishna consciousness, so well, you don't have any complaints.
still they are going to these outside schools and learning so many things. So still,
You got two good kids. You're lucky.
Krishna's
And that's
mercy.
pretty rare in the age of Kali, especially living in America.
Yes, Maharaj.
Your son's intelligent, very reasonable person, very kind-hearted, good boy, very good. He's very got many good qualities.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Daughter also.
Thank you. Maharaj, there is a comment on chat by Sakshi Mataji. She is saying that Hare Krishna, I have observed from my personal experience that when there is more mental work, like constant thoughts running, analyzing, overthinking, etc., it makes the body more tired even after doing nothing physical. Then the body demands rest.
Yeah, that's true. They say people who work with their mind may also get more tired because the mind's connected to the body. When in those cases, I would say do exercise because the body is not moving; it's the mind. So the body is feeling the lethargy of the tired mind. So move the body around, get it back going again.
Maharaj, thank you so much.
I'm not here to tell you how much you should sleep. I'm just giving you the standard by which we are taught by Srila Prabhupada. And he spoke many times about this, not just once or twice. The lectures about Prahlad Maharaj in the seventh canto, towards the end of the seventh canto, very interesting. Talks about wasting time in activities that simply divert oneself away from the goal of life.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, thank you so much. Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, this is a struggle of balancing sleep, balancing meal times, balancing work times, etc. And regulation is what we need to strive for because that helps us to be most efficient. While I understand that, it is really difficult in real life for me. I don't know whether, anyway, there are certain health issues, medical issues, and so on. So, my question is when we dance in Kirtan, that's also exercise, no, Guru Maharaj? It's not like one has to actually go out and do some other form of exercise. If you're dancing in Kirtan, that's exercise, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Prabhupada even said that when someone asked him about that verse in the Bhagavad Gita, one should be temperate in working, sleeping, working, eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. And when they asked him, what is recreation? Prabhupada said, dancing. So, yeah, dancing is good. Mm. And it's spiritual when you dance to kirtan, not when you dance to, you know, some Hollywood song, or Bollywood song. So yeah, I'm dancing, but walking is very good. Walking is very good. we have our walking sannyasi. His name is Candramauli Swami. He put together a book called what is it called? The Walking Monk, something like that. He walked across the United States a couple times back and forth. He walked across Ireland. He walked across Canada. He does at least 3 to 4 miles of walking every day. The body's a machine. If you sit in front of a computer, don't expect to be feeling lazy and lethargic. Or just do some yoga exercises.
Today, Mataji, that helps.
Exercise.
I feel that Guru Maharaj, you have given this class just for me to get my act together and get regulated. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just try doing a little exercises every day and see if that doesn't give you more energy. Just like Krishna told Yudhisthira, I can't remember the verse. The first line of the verse is Bhojana. Bhojana means food. So Krishna, he told Yudhisthira, after food, take 100 steps. So after you eat a meal, get up and walk 100 steps. And Krishna used to do that too. He would, after his meal, he would take 100 steps. So if you sit down after a meal, it's not the best, Get up, take 100 steps, and after that, maybe you can sit down for a little while if you feel the need to. That gets the digestion going. There's a lot of medicines you can take for digestion that help. I get Ayurvedic digestive medicines, they're very good. Digestion is the key to health. If your digestion's not working, then you're going to have problems. And that's how Ayurveda determines the health of a body based on the digestion.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Shiv Kumar Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Thank you, Maharaj, for today's session. So, Maharaj, one thing that I wanted to share and seek your inputs, guidance, Maharaj, is in my experience, when the quality of sleep is not good, Maharaj, when there is more of dreams and thoughts running, it seems that's when the body is demanding more time, sleeping time. And when I look at why there is lack of quality of sleep, like before Krishna consciousness, Maharaj, after coming back from office, before I kind of call off for the day, I used to kind of regularly listen to some music or entertaining videos. And that's something that the mind is used to. When that is stopped after Krishna consciousness, the mind is still struggling with that kind of an austerity to stay away from the sense pleasures. And it is kind of resisting to retire for the day, Maharaj. But I do see there is improvement, Maharaj, over time, gradually, but still it's a struggle, Maharaj. Just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Let's see. Was something I was going to say. Yeah, there's 3 states of consciousness: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. The body rests completely on deep sleep. Dreaming, there is partial rest, but not complete rest. But how much do you dream at night? Maybe just a small portion of the time, anyway. I mean, I sent out many communiques or articles about sleep to the devotees. I can send them out again if you need to. These things you have to work with and try to organize it so it doesn't take away from your health, doesn't take away from your Krishna conscious.
Thank you.
Yeah, but anything sensual doesn't mean it's good. We have Krishna consciousness is the highest form of sense gratification. Devotees enjoy bhajans, kirtans, recitations of verses, so many things you can apply your mind to that will bring a spiritual upliftment. You don't need Bollywood or any kind of musical, interlude to give your mind some kind of peace.
Yes.
Bhajans are nice. Some of the bhajans are very sweet and melodious. If you like those, the others have a different tempo. Bhajans are nice.
Yes, Maharaj. Actually, for past few weeks, I'm trying 30, 45 minutes of bhajans in the evening and walking Japa, Maharaj. That seems to help a lot.
Yeah, it'll help you spiritually for sure. That's for sure. Music is the language of the heart.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Anjali,
Music, art, poetry, all of this is connected. We can connect it to Krishna and these finer aspects of life, drama, art, music, um, all of it, brings the soul into the foreground. Prabhupada used to say, the devotees who paint, who make artistic displays of the spiritual world or of Krishna, are giving us an insight of what it's like in the spiritual world. What is Krishna like? So we're leaving this material tabernacle, bringing our consciousness into the spiritual realm through the visual. When we see beautiful art about Krishna, about Srimati Radharani, Tulsi Devi, or art of just glorious art to enhance Krishna's presence. So art is there, drama is so nice. We're in our upcoming disciples meeting, we have a devotee who's going to do a 45-minute drama on the life of Lord Ram. We have yoga also as part of the retreat too. There's a yoga teacher coming. So, and of course we have kirtan. We'll be reading from scripture. Many of the verses of scripture are poetic. I'm reading right now, I'm reading Ramcharitamrita by Tulsi Das. So beautiful, so beautiful. Every line is a poetic expression. It's just like you can't imagine the poetry in it. It is just so, I mean, you just get so engrossed in it, and then you try to understand it in relationship to what Tulsi Das is saying. It's just like on another level of existence, describing the activities of the Lord. Lord Shiva's narrating to Parvati the life of Lord Ram. So many beautiful parts of it. It's just like brand new book that just came out, 650 pages. Just came out about 2 months ago. I got a copy when I was in Mayapur. It's so beautiful. And we got Ram's Leela. He's coming up on the 26th of this month is Ram Nomi.
Yes. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
So, we have to take advantage of all of the artistic expressions that are actually devotional service is just art. That's all it is. It's just the art of speaking, the art of singing, the art of visual, the art of dance. It's all, what is our movement? It's one dramatic performance. Wonderful. You turn on the television, what do you hear? Somebody gets killed. I fly on planes and people watch different movies on the planes. And sometimes I glance over to see what they're watching, and somebody's killing somebody, somebody's chasing some lady. It's like, it's like, it's horrific, Or it's some ridiculous show, some stupid comedy that has, of course, I never watch it. I just sometimes accidentally glance and I see something, but then I just chant or read when I'm on the plane. I don't even turn on that thing. I mean, you absorb your mind in Krishna. If you find service too difficult, then sing and dance. And eat prasad.
Yeah.
If you do kirtan all the time, you'll definitely go back to God just by doing kirtan.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yes, we have to, as a
What
part of it.
what I see amongst my disciples and followers, you're too much absorbed in material life. You don't spend enough time in Krishna. And that's what I see. We're too much interested in making our material life successful, which is never successful. We need to spend more time in Krishna consciousness. That's our problem. It's a time thing. Give more time to Krishna, and then you'll see how it affects you on an overall basis. Krishna
Yes,
says, "Time I am." Time is him anyway, so he provides the time. So if you use it for him, then it's the best use of time. Make your material life as simple as you can. Get it down to where you can just do the basics. Mhm. Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. We have two more hands raised up, and we are almost at the end of the hour.
Okay.
Anjali Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All grace to Shri Prabhupada and you. Guru Maharaj, my question is related to what we were reading in Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrit. So recently we read that Srila Prabhupada informed as a well-wisher to Gandhi that he should retire on time and should propagate the teachings of Krishna through Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, he'll go for an inglorious death, which actually happened. But Guru Maharaj, while we also read that while he was taking his last breath, he said, Hey Ram. Isn't that the idea, Guru Maharaj, that when we are leaving this body, we had to think of Krishna? And that's what he did. He made his human life successful.
Yeah, he said, "Hey Ram."
So,
So people would say, they would say about Gandhi, he's a saint among the politicians and he's a politician among the saints. But Prabhupada didn't give him credit. He said it wasn't Gandhi's movement that removed the British from India. It was Subhas Chandra Bose who kicked the British out of India. Gandhi movement of non-cooperation was going on for 30 years and the British were still there. When Subhas Chandra Bose made a deal with the Germans that any soldiers captured, you send them back to me and I'll use them to fight against the British. And that's when the British could no longer stay in India. That's history.
so basically, Guru Maharaj, I mean, like seeing Gandhi, he said, "Hey, Ram, what should how should we develop that attitude, and how should we practice that moment of our death when it is
When
for
you,
sure that we remember Krishna?"
yeah, when you're talking to people, talk to them. And when you're not talking to people, chant all the time. When you're not speaking, chant. When you're doing your work, chant. When you have to speak to someone, then you politely recognize another person's presence and there's some importance for interchange. You do that. And then as soon as that's over, you start chanting again. That's a formula. You can try it. That's what I do. I try to do it. When I'm by myself, I always chant. When I'm not by myself, when I'm talking to other people, I respect other people's, try to respect other people's presence if there's some reason for interaction. But Prabhupada used to chant all the time, even when he was with other people. But that takes great concentration. He was chanting in his mind at the same time doing things externally.
So basically, we chant 24/7 every time.
Practice chanting as much as Prabhupada. I was just listening to Prabhupada the other day. He was just talking. Don't waste time. Chant Hare Krishna all the time. He was saying, I'm just being very nice. He's like, get it together. Why are you wasting your life? You're old. You got this great opportunity to go back home, back to God, or make a solution. Chant. Why don't you chant?
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for reminding us to chant every time. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Nobody's stopping you. Nobody can stop you either. You can always chant.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Devi Mataji, please go ahead.
Guru Maharaj, I'm also still thinking about the various aspects of health, especially tiredness relating to the ambient temperatures. If the body it gets heated up because the outside is so hot, then again tiredness and fatigue set in. Body does well when cooler temperatures are around. So with global warming and all these things happening, it's much harder not to get tired, isn't it?
Yeah, there's food that cools the body down. Eat food that is cooling. Don't eat food that will create heat within the body.
Mm. Mm.
Ghee is cooling. Ghee is a cooling food, not too much. Yogurt is cooling. There's foods that are
Yeah.
cooling, there's foods that are heating, there's foods that are in between. So you can always cool down. You take, sometimes we take, just like in the summertime, we take some cool lemonade when it gets hot. Somebody gave me some, I don't know what it is. I haven't used it, but they said you soak it overnight, and then the next day it becomes like a jelly, and then you take it, and it cools you down really fast. What is it called, Anjali?
It's a Gund Katira, Maharaj.
That's it. What is it called? Good?
Gund Katira.
Gond Katira.
Yeah, good katir. Yeah, I got it. I got it when I was in India. I haven't used it yet because I'm still in cool weather. But yeah, good katila, that's it. And the person who recommended said, their father's been taking it and his health is like, it does more than just cooling. It's a good healthy item too. You take it, you take some of the, I don't know it's like what kind of form is it in?
It's like resin from trees.
It.
Yeah, it's resin from trees. You just soak it overnight, it becomes like a jelly. And the next morning you take it out of the soak and you just take it. It'll
First
cool you
time I'm
down.
hearing of this, Guru Maharaj. I never
Huh?
ever heard of this even before. First time I'm ever hearing of this.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Then, India has the worst health and the best medicine. You want medicines, everything is in India. It's the science of medicine there. But people have the worst health because they eat big meals at night. That's the problem. Don't eat big at night. That will destroy your health fast.
Maharaj,
Seria um táxi. Autógrafo merece mais.
thank you, Maharaj. Hope that helps, Sridevi Mataji.
Amrita
Amrita,
Nam's going to give us some insight about health now. Okay.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances, all glories to Shri Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, you have already given so much. This, the Gon Katira you talked about, it is something which is, I do it every summer, of course, but not everybody know about it. It's quite useful in summer times. Even the chia seeds, they are also very cooling for our body.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Prabhupada always signed his letters. Every letter he signed when he sent it to one of his disciples or anybody, hoping this meets you in the best of health. He would always encourage devotees. He said, one thing I just read just recently, I'll read it again. It's on the calendar here. So let me just read it here. He said here, this is from March 6, 1969. He said, keep your health in good condition and work very hard for Krishna. That is our motto of life. Keep good health and work hard for Krishna. Okay? That's our motto.
thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. We came to the end of the class today. I just want to quickly announce tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class is with Bhakti Sangha devotees, and the verse numbers or 8th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 22nd chapter, verses 10 and 11. And the time is 11:20 a.m. UK time because of the daylight savings in USA. And for India, it is 4:50.
Changing clocks now, tomorrow?
Yeah, we changed already on Sunday, Maharaj.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What time is it there now?
Now it is 7:45 a.m. in the morning
Oh,
for Central Time.
Europe didn't change their clocks
No,
yet.
no, Maharaj. They'll
you-
change, I think, March 29th.
Okay.
So 11:20 a.m. UK time, Maharaj, tomorrow's class.
What is it UK time?
UK time 11:20 a.m.
11:20 a.m. So that would be, for me, that would be 12:20.
12:20. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
And for India, 4:50, like whatever we are doing the regular class, 5 p.m. IST, it will be 10 minutes earlier, 4:50.
12:20 a.m. Okay. 8, 22, 11, and 12.
10 and 11.
10 and 11?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
And I'll share the link in the WhatsApp group, dear devotees. And also, Maharaj, would you like to announce the upcoming class on Sunday?
Have you done any announcing yet?
No, not yet, Maharaj. Today I was planning to announce.
With the present situation in the world and with my particular focus in preaching, which is Varnashram Dharma, farm communities, simple living, back to nature, where I've decided to start a once a week program on those subjects starting this Sunday. So every Sunday at a regular time for our class, we'll be speaking about Prabhupada's unfinished business, Varnashram Dharma, farm communities, cow protection, agriculture, simple living, back to nature. So I've been inspired by the present situation in the world with this war. Europe is going to go through a very big catastrophe very soon. They're going to run out of natural gas. And if they run out of natural gas, it's going to be a calamity. Places in Africa are already running out because the war has cut supplies off to people, to other countries because of the war. And natural gas comes from the Middle East, and it comes from Russia. America's okay because it just took over Venezuela. And so America is looking good for all of their fuel. They'll be okay. Anybody living in America's okay. But Europe is going to suffer. India's okay. India's still getting their resources. But if you're in anywhere in Europe, hold tight. Inflation's already hitting you. That's a fact. And then inflation will get so much that eventually there won't be any. If the war continues, we're hoping this war ends, at least I am. But there's no saying, there's no sign that's going to end. Both countries are refusing to make any compromise. So the war is going, and more countries are getting into the war. Britain's getting into the war. France is getting into the war because they want to save their economics. So it's looking quite, what we say, calamitous out there. For devotees, we're okay because Krishna will take care of the devotees. That's for sure. But there'll be some disturbances in food supplies and natural gas and transportation. All of this will be, devotees will also be affected in that way. So just make your plans to make sure you don't get caught in a situation where you can't function.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so
Our
much.
retreat is still on, no, Guru Maharaj? Coming to New Mayapur should still be okay, right? In April?
So far, so good. But still, we have almost a month away. So far, so good. Everything is in that area of the world, things are going on. Flights are still going on. Devotees who are in India, they have to see how you can fly out of India. Many of the flights out of India have been canceled and people are stuck. So certain countries that have to fly over the area where the war is, they've canceled their flights rather than diverting their flights, you know. And because of the shortages of fuel now in different areas, you can expect prices to go up everywhere. So gas prices, transportation prices, home fuel prices, it's already going up. So just beware and just be prepared for all of the changes, that's all. But right now, the retreat is still going on as far as we can see.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Such a wonderful series you are starting. We are so excited to be part of this. I'll just circulate this message to everyone in the groups, and the devotees, please feel free to encourage your friends and other devotees to join the Sunday's class regularly so that they'll also benefit from these sessions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we'll go through the whole topic from different angles of vision.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you very
Maharaj.
much, Sister
Srila
Hare
Srimad
Krishna.
Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Chandramauli Swami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank